and what's to come as we've been moving through the month of August.
Yeah, what's up with the pattern? And Dr. Nab, a lot of people are going, all right, so why are we looking at a map of the tropics?
Nab, the tropical segment is in the next block. You're getting ahead of yourself. I can't wait. No, there is a connection between what has been going on in the tropical and the entire Atlantic basin and why we've been having so much severe weather and flooding in portions of the continental U.S. And part of what has been happening is weak ridging down to the south, like over Florida, and continuous frontal systems that are laying down over the southeast U.S. and troughing in the northeast. And that is part of why Florida has been baking. But that continuous storminess coming from Canada through the northeast has been part of what we call the North Atlantic Oscillation. And that is also paired with weaker than usual ridging out over the Atlantic. Why is that important? Because that has contributed to weaker trade winds and allowing the waters to really, really warm up the entire basin wide above average, but close to home. All of this fuel has been what all of these systems producing the severe weather and flooding that Colleen's been talking about have been tapping into. It's warm way up north.
Yeah, a lot of moisture. So a lot of people hear about this warm water and they go, it doesn't really affect me, but ultimately it does.
Yeah, and that produces more evaporation, more fuel for more storms to produce more heavy rainfall, and that's why we had the big flood event in Vermont, the Mayfield, Kentucky flooding. And the other part of the pattern with this North Atlantic Oscillation has been, the big ridging over the southwest and south central, but continuous supply of these disturbances from Canada riding over the top of that ridge. And Alex, here comes another one. And this looks a lot like what happened with the Vermont flood event. And the ridge riding pattern has just not given up. And these systems that come over the top of it can produce the flooding. So here we go. Mayfield, Kentucky, one of the places in play again.
And I mean, usually July is a fairly quiet month. We had some heavy hitter events, both Vermont and Mayfield, and both of them now we go into August, not much has changed.
Yeah, here we go again. Now, this isn't necessarily as high end of an event as what we had last month in Vermont, but the risk is there again with a similar kind of pattern for more than one day. And let's look at the, not only the flood risk, but the severe thunderstorm risk, how much we've had severe weather in the Northeast. But watch this. Look at how you got this disturbance coming through, and then here comes another one. And when they get up into New England, they bring tremendous moisture way to the north. A lot of us, storms and flooding.
It's been, one thing after another, and that one thing has been what we haven't seen much change. And Colleen, again, today, no exception. We're watching for repeated rounds of rain.
Yeah, repeated rounds in similar areas, and of course,